Happening everybody, King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Today we're going to be showcasing some fun battles in the Open Great League with Machamp. Machamp is quite a fun one because of course you can just punch for everything. And at the start of the video we've got a few bonus battles here with Frostlass in the lead. And we were basically ABA week to Bastiodon, which is why I eventually swapped out this team. But in general we're just hunting Bastiodons with Machamp, and I did have quite a lot of fun using it. I played around 12 games with this Pokemon I believe, and I went 8 out of 12, so pretty happy with that overall. Considering I was using not the best team at the start, we did manage to go positive with this Pokemon, and I think Machamp is quite a fun and unexpected pick in the Great League. We ended up swapping out to Sableye because it was just a lot safer in the 2-shield. They're not likely going to swap it into a Bastiodon against your Sableye, but if you do happen to get that lined up, you can take it in the 2-shield, and that can be quite good for you. So with Machamp in the lead, the opponent might actually consider swapping in Bastiodon because they know that there's a big muscly boy in the back waiting for it. So we're literally just hunting Bastiodons here. Let me know if you guys are, in the similar, like I'm in the roughly, like at the moment, the sort of 2200 to 2300 range. I was up to 24 something quite recently. And, I'm just basically trying out different Pokemon. Today I started off the day, I was like, what am I going to use? And, I would love to sort of, like, understand my own decision making at points. But I started off the day using Hisuian Quillfish, and we ended up going, I think, 0 and 3 with it straight away, so I'm like, right, this is probably not going to work. So we ended up just, basically what I do is scroll through PV Poke and look at the rankings, and I'm like, what Pokemon have I not used for a while, or what would be quite an entertaining Pokemon for a video that maybe a lot of people aren't using, and we ended up landing on Machamp, and I was pretty happy with it. Like I said, about 65% win rate roughly, 2 out of 3 matches winning with this thing. It does have a lot of play, but of course, it's a pretty hostile environment for Machamp, with all the Noctowls, Lanturns, Altarias, Trevenants, just pretty much everything. The whole place is just a hostile environment. You're literally just trying to find Bastiodon with this thing. Anyway, really quickly before we hop into the video, I was asking you yesterday, try to hit me up to 1400 subs, and man, we absolutely smashed it. We're well above 1400, and I want to say a big thank you for that. Ever since I started, the support's been incredible in these videos, and we're just doing better and better with each week that goes by. So big thank you everybody, and if you have been watching for a little while, you've not yet subscribed, maybe consider doing so now if you are enjoying the videos. It's absolutely free, and tomorrow I'm probably going to find some other random Pokemon to use, so be sure to get your suggestions in the comments down below if you have any funny Pokemon to use that could be somewhat viable in the Great League. Anyway guys, hopping into these battles, and of course hit that like button if you wouldn't mind as well. We're in here against Machamp. We're just going to farm this the whole way down. We do have a shield up, which is quite nice, and I'm thinking, okay, we need to take this with the champ. So a little bit of a fun fact here, you'll see me doing this a little bit later. Rock Slide actually does more damage, but Cross Chop is more energy efficient. So if you're trying to get off the maximum damage, go for Rock Slide. It is slightly more. And in comes Bastiodon. This is so rough guys, we're down to 20% health, but Bastiodon, he does not like Machamp whatsoever. Big punch to the face, we're punching this stupid wall in the face, and we're going to go ahead and punch him again. I hate this Pokemon, and good night, get out, just piss off. Honestly, I'm sorry if you use Bastiodon, but I just hate it. We get another Obstagoon lead, and I think it was after this match that I decided to swap Machamp into the lead, because I'm like, I'm probably going to start seeing like Bastiodon and like Obstagoons and a few bits and pieces in the lead that would be good for Machamp. The opponent gets the attack rise, so I just aggro swap into Machamp just to make sure that he gets out of there. I could go into Noctowl, which would be like the less hard counter to it, but I just wanted to get that thing out. Even with the boost, like that thing can just spam off Night Slashes and go crazy. Machamp cannot take a hit here, unfortunately, and we're not able to get off another Cross Chop. At this point, we do come in with Noctowl, and we're just going to try and get rid of this Toxapex. If you don't have a good answer to this Pokemon, it can be a bit of a nightmare for you, which is one of the nice things about running Swampert, as I usually do. I think Swampert's one of those Pokemon that you either love or hate as well. In comes a Nidoqueen, so we swap into our Frostlass before they reach the Poison Jabber or Poison Fang. It is Poison Fang, isn't it? Yeah, before they do that, we do that, and we throw off the Avalanche here. Now, the funny thing is, depending on IVs, you can win this in the 2-shield with Frostlass, so it's not as straightforward as you'd think. We are ahead here by 1, and we can basically CMP them again on the Avalanche. So I'm thinking, like, that's my best option here. Try my absolute best to get off some damage on this thing. The opponent's not going to let that happen, though. They're going to fire off the Night Slash, which will take out this range. And we have a Sky Attack loaded, but these counters are doing a ton of damage. The opponent catches on Toxapex. But here's the thing, this thing is so bulky that we're still able to get a farm down, and we're only 1 off the Sky Attack, which we do reach just in time, and we're able to take him out. So we didn't quite get the Machamp lined up on this, and at this point I'm like, I've got 2 Obstagoon leads in a row. I think it might be time to put Machamp in the lead, And I think that's what we do next game here. But of course we have a Sableye lead now. So I guess that wouldn't have been good for Frostlass either. We decided to go for the Rock Slide because this will do substantial damage. The opponent is farming up to the return, and I decided to catch what I think is a foul play bait. I was thinking about catching the return on Frostlass, but I was thinking they would go for the bait, because foul play would do a lot of damage to it anyway. We draw out a Bastiodon, and this is exactly why Machamp is in this team. We can come in here and just absolutely farm this thing up with Machamp. Now the thing is, you know, we've took a decent amount of damage on the Machamp. I maybe could have considered just swapping straight into Noctowl, but then at that point, you know, I've got my Frostlass on Sableye, which is not great. So that's why I wanted to try and stay in and land the Rock Slide. And it's pretty obvious what we're coming in here with. I think I do decide to shield this. This will be the Flamethrower, which would do a decent amount of damage. I wonder, yeah, so they've got 2 moves, so I would have had to have shielded one anyway. Do I double shield this? Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one, to be honest. But we do go for the farm down. They come in with Machamp, and we'll come in with Frostlass. I think double shielding that might not have been great, but see, that's the thing, like with Frostlass, we just don't really have a good option. Yeah, so we were playing basically, you know, the 2 sort of weak to Bastiodon Pokemon in the back, trying to use one of them to draw out Bastiodon. And again, like, I love Frostlass. It is literally one of my favourite Pokemon in this league. I think it was probably my favourite Pokemon to use last season. This thing just cannot chill in this league anymore, unfortunately. I think just Alolan Ninetales is a better option. The opponent's using a Dynamic Punch, so I decide here I'm going to try and take it out with a Cross Chop and a Rock Slide. Rock Slide would do slightly more. Would we have got off the back-to-back Rock Slides here? I think we would have been 1 short. So GG's to the opponent there, and we're going to hop into the next one. We get a Swampert lead, we can take this in the 2 shield, but I do sort of need to keep my Machamp alive. Alive. I need to keep it alive, and we'll go for the Cross Chop here. The opponent does not CMP us, which is clever, and we're going to go ahead and shield this one up. They do start outpacing to these Hydros eventually, as you see here, but the counters are just so oppressive on this thing that we can just basically start punching away at this. We're going to try and get the last shield off the opponent, and we are starting to, you know, they're not really farming us down too quickly here. We catch on Sableye, which, I mean, you maybe could have considered catching on Noctowl, but I'm thinking Swampert, that might have flyers in the back, which of course Sableye would not have a good time against, and in comes a Walrein, so I'm like, right, this is perfect, this is exactly what we need Machamp for, and I make a bit of a mistake here. I go for the Rock Slide. I wanted to guarantee the knockout, but after looking it up later on, a Cross Chop does about 50% to a Walrein, so that was slightly, you know, unoptimal by me there. Cost us a couple of turns of energy, but we're going to go for the Cross Chop on Mach here. Quite an interesting one, Alolan Mach. It does a good chunk to this thing, and we'll just come straight in with Noctowl. We'll see what the opponent wants to do. Are they going to Dark Pulse this out of here, or what are they going to try and do? They go for the Acid Spray, so I think that all but seals it for us. They do go for the catch on the Swampert, and we just go ahead. You know what I've noticed, right? Okay, so we go for the Undercharge. I'll tell you after what I've noticed, but we get the farm down anyway, so this is absolutely fine. We're going to get the Sky Attack off anyway. You know what I've noticed, right? A lot of people try to catch after you've thrown 2. Just keep that in mind, right? If you're thinking about over farming so that they don't catch, a lot of people swap out after 2. So like, let's say I reach the Sky Attack and then over farm by 2, that's when they swap out. I've just noticed that, and like, it's just, I don't know, it's a pattern I've noticed. But in comes Noctowl, a very positive lead here. That's right, you heard me correctly, but it's not positive when you're getting laggy bubbles. The opponent here, we're just absolutely beating the life out of them. And we're going to go ahead and shield up the Sky Attack. The opponent realizes that this is a negative match for them, and they do eventually swap out. We're going to punch this big Chestnut, and we're going to come in here with Noctowl just to farm it all the way down. They can go for 1 superpower here, but at this point, they probably should have just thrown the superpower straight away to give me less farm, but it does a decent chunk of health. We're actually coming out of here with a Sky Attack, which is quite nice. I'm expecting the Noctowl to come straight back in, and I'm hoping they have something weak to Machamp in the back. Chestnut and Noctowl, you know, both of which are not really, you know, amazing for Machamp. You know, Flyer and, you know, Grass type, not really amazing for Machamp, so I'm just hoping they have like a Steel type or something in the back that Machamp can just beat the life out of. The opponent shields it up, and at that point I aggro swap into Machamp, thinking if you're going to shield it up, I can't get off my move, bro. This game is so laggy. This game is so laggy, it's unreal. But we do have Surf Edged here, and yeah, this is going to be absolutely fine here, I think. Even though this thing does a ton of damage, we should be able to farm it the whole way down with Sableye. Dude, the amount of lag I'm getting in this game is unreal. Like, I don't know if it's just my phone. Let me know if you guys are getting it too. But we farm up here to the Power Gem. A thing would have taken it out at that point. Foul Play would have taken it out at that point, so it's all good. It's all good. But the amount of lag I'm getting is super annoying. I definitely do want you to comment and tell me if you get those laggy bubbles, or, you know, do I just need to go to a new phone, or is it because the servers are bad? I do these battles at like 6 or 7 a.m. So I do feel like I'm matching up against like, I don't know where these people are from, to be fair, but overseas players. In comes Reggie, and yeah, this is looking very bad. They've got a Deoxys lead, and they've got a Reggie. So this is looking pretty tough for us. I'm not sure if we can sort of take this all out, because they're obviously going to take Switch here as well. I could try to fight for Switch, but it's a little bit tough fighting for Switch with Noctowl. I mean, I guess because I was a little bit ahead on energy, I probably could have taken Switch, to be fair. I maybe tried to bait or something. But we're going to come in here and... so this is brutal here. Like, a Zap Cannon would just basically wipe this thing out. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't have shielded that, honestly. I think that was my win condition. They've got a Sableye of their own as well. So, GG's basically at this point. They've got Sableye and Sableye. We're slightly ahead on energy, but there's no way we can flip this, I don't think. I don't think there's any way we can do this. The timers will not be down in time as well. So we're just going to start firing off fell plays against each other. But yeah, I've definitely noticed that quite a lot recently. I think just the servers in this game are not that great. The opponent does go for a bit of an overfarm there. And yeah, they're going to fire off this fell play. Now we can just have to hope. I go for a CMP on this. We just need to hope that we can take the defense Deoxys, but one Psycho Boost, yeah, they go for the foul player as well. One Psycho Boost would just absolutely destroy Machamp, Machoke, and Machamp all at once. So there you go, GG's. We're going to hop into this next one. It's Dragonair. What we'd like to do here is go for a catch on something. The opponent should be throwing Body Slam, but they're throwing Aqua Tails. Guys, can I just tell you something? If you're using this Pokemon, throw Body Slam in neutral situations always. It's better. I see so many people throwing Aqua Tail. Only throw Aqua Tail if you're against a Steel type. Otherwise, you should be throwing Body Slam. Unless the opponent was anticipating a catch, which I mean, I doubt it, because everybody just seems to be throwing Aqua Tail, but, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. We're just going to come in, we're not even going to let them get off their energy here. Or so I think, because the opponent does decide to shield it, and I'm like, alright, why are you shielding this now? What's up, buddy? What's the problem here? Why are we shielding Bastiodon here on low health? We do farm it the whole way down. I'm like, right, Machamp is strong against something. We're going to come in with Noctowl here. The opponent does not swap straight out, so I'm like, maybe there's something that's weak to Noctowl in the back. This was confusing. I'm going to try to get the whole farm down here. We just about do get it. In comes Medicham. So I'm like, that's so weird. Why are you shielding Bastiodon if you've got a Medicham in the back? It doesn't make any sense. We get off the first Sky attack. We're going to go for the second one here. And, you know, this will get pretty close in the end, because they can probably get the whole farm down here. Yeah, so they get the full farm down. We still have a shield, and we need to pretty much commit to the Rock Slide. I get the counter through, which means that even if they had two moves, I could CMP and win it. But that was definitely very, you know, weird play by the opponent. I think you just have to give up Bastiodon at that point. You know, that move isn't going to take out Machamp anyway, so it doesn't make sense to shield up Bastiodon there. People are too in love with the Bastiodon. That's the problem. Guys, if you're Bastiodon users, I'm sorry, alright? Alright? I don't like it, alright? You know, we all have our preferences here. A pretty bad lead here, Medicham in the lead. We're going to swap into Noctowl here. I'm not sure if swapping into Sableye would have been better. Maybe it would have been, but we do draw out the Bastiodon, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want to do with this team. I'm not sure if Sableye would have drawn out Bastiodon, so I think this works a little bit better. We're going to fire off multiple Shadow Balls, and they're going to farm up to 100 energy. Isn't it crazy? Like, I think I played, you know, I did play all my 25 battles. I think I've seen about 20 Bastiodons today, folks. Like, they're just everywhere. So, you know, definitely consider running some sort of counter to Bastiodon, like the Swampert Double Flyer team I was showcasing yesterday. We're going to farm this the whole way down. We don't need to shield it. Stone Age will do maybe like 30%. Yeah, something like that. I have pretty bad IVs on this Machamp, so definitely it'll be a little bit more comfortable otherwise. In comes the Stunfisk. This is going to be a little bit tough here. We're going to take this the whole way to the 2 shield, and we can do a substantial amount of damage. This will be a little bit tough. You know, I basically do have to shield everything here. Yeah, so I'm gonna end up shielding Rock Slides here, which is kind of annoying. But you know, this is just how this match goes. I was tempted to crawl a Rock Slide, but I did not want to risk it here at all. I do need my Sableye for Medicham, so we're gonna fire off another foul play right here. And you know, how much damage is this gonna do? That's the question, folks. We get them down into the yellow. We come in with the snipe with Machamp, and this is starting to look very, very positive now. Depending on what moveset the opponent's got, this could be very, very good for us. We're going to commit the whole way to the Rock Slide here, which again, like I said, does the most damage. And this will get the opponent into maybe even a farm down range with Sableye. The opponent is far off a move. We'll see what moveset they're running here. If it is Ice Punch, it could be a little bit close. They're running Power Up Punch. Is it Power Up Punch Ice Punch? This is going to be very, very tough. The opponent goes for a Psychic, so even the boosted Psychic is not able to get us down into farm down range, and we can farm down. I feel like if that was Ice Punch, it might have been a little bit closer there. But good games to the opponent nonetheless, and we're having a very, very good set with this thing so far. Definitely was pretty impressed that I was able to do quite well with this team, considering it is, you know, not a meta pick. We swap into Sableye here, and I actually messed this up. I ended up hitting the wrong thing here. I ended up just throwing the Power Gem. You want to just throw your foul play on this. Power Gem is not a very good move, so just keep that in mind. You know, you're learning things here today. You probably didn't learn that, you probably knew that already, but we're going to throw the foul play this time, see what the opponent wants to do. The fact that the opponent's not swapping out here is making me think they might be double weak to it in the back, so I am going to shield up my Sableye twice here, and I'll look to see if we can get off a lot of damage on this thing. In comes Dragonair, so I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, the most obvious thing would be Trevenant, so I eventually do decide to swap out here into Noctowl. Knowing that it could be a Trevenant in the back, I should have probably just swapped into Machamp there, you know, drawn out the Trevenant or something. The opponent goes for Body Slam. I think the way I was looking at this is I can just go for one Sky Attack and get rid of this thing, but I think I underestimated how much damage this thing will do, and of course Toxapex is going to come back in and get a super low here. So we're probably going to get into a range where a Seed Bomb will almost take out. So definitely not the most optimal play here. I think in either case, guys, we do have 2 Pokemon left anyway, and I did want to just keep Machamp just in case. Opponents play these matches super weird sometimes. Like, you would read what they're doing and you're like, oh, they're weak to this in the back because they're shielding Bastiodons and weird stuff. So I think either way it works out fine. We just about survived the Seed Bomb, and yeah, there wasn't really a lot the opponent could have done there. Let's say the Seed Bomb does take out Noctowl. At that point we can come in with Sableye, just like farm up to 5 and swap into Machamp, and at that point we're guaranteed to get to the foul play anyway. So, you know, unless they basically, well, actually maybe they could have like overfarmed or something. I doubt they're going to get to, yeah, I don't think the opponent could have won that there. Definitely was going to look very tough for them. Hopping into this next one here, we have a Lantern in the lead. Machamp can, you know, just punch the life out of this thing, and of course we do not want our Noctowl on this. So this is kind of an awkward one. A Lantern, like, these surfs will add up very, very quickly. And, you know, our counters are adding up. So at this point, I think I might even double shield against this Lantern, just to sort of get rid of it. We're going to go for another Cross Chop. I think that was a CMP tie. And I'm not sure if I let this one go. We'll see. The opponent does let that go. So unfortunately, 2 Cross Chops just don't take out. I'm like, I can't go down both shields here. So I swap out, just in case there's a Bastiodon in the back. And the opponent comes in with an Alone Ninetales. I should have thrown off the foul play here, but I was trying to commit to the Power Gem to do the most damage. The opponent throws a Psyshock, so I'm like, right, that's a bit of an interesting one. We do go for the Power Gem here, hoping the opponent tries to make a call. They do shield it. So I think here, yeah, I probably should have just went for foul plays, because they would have done substantial damage anyway. We do get off another move, so that's absolutely fine. I'm trying to think, 18 Shadow Claws, and they would have got off multiples, so, you know, I think it doesn't really matter there. At this point we come in with Machamp, try and sort of, yeah, that was just not great. The opponent will go for a Body Slam here. I was sort of thinking, like, Machamp's pretty much dead in this match, so I might as well try and get a few counters through, and give myself, like, some sort of a chance to overfarm. Just not going to happen here. This thing just does way too much damage, and the opponent should be able to take us out no problem here. We do take them out with a Sky Attack, they've got a move loaded, so yeah, it's just definitely a tough one right there. Pretty tough team for my team to run against. They had, yeah, just all of the Pokemon that I did not want to see there. So we're currently 3-2 in this set. Can we make it 4-1? That would be nice to try and finish off Machamp here. Let's see what we can get here. And next game we get another Lantern lead. Do you guys notice this, bro? You always see like these patterns. It's so weird. Like I had 2 Obstagoon leads in a row, now we're getting 2 Lantern leads in a row. But anyway, we're going to go for a Cross Chop. We're going to play this a little bit differently this time. And I think we... Okay, so the opponent actually, they farm up to the back-to-back basically, which is kind of interesting. So they're actually letting me get off 2 Cross Chops. So I think the opponent misplays this here. They're not threatening my shields. They do take a shield off us. And at this point, we're going to go for a Cross Chop on this. I probably could have swapped straight into my own Noctowl, but I wanted to get the chip damage on it, so that if I do have to face off against it later on with like Sableye or something, it will be in like a foul play range. The opponent's staying in here with Noctowl. So again, we're making the read. It's like, right, are you weak to this in the back? Do you have a Trevor in the back? The opponent lets it go, and they have a Scrafty, so I'm like, right, this should be fine. But this game is not over yet. Scrafty, with these power punches, like, it just starts running for your Pokemon. I decided I want to save the shield for Machamp, but the opponent's just getting super, super ramped up here. the opponent still has 2 shields left, and Scrafty with 2 shields is such a rough one to deal with. We get off another Sky Attack here, the opponent wants to commit to the full farm down, and yeah, this is looking a little bit tough here. We're going to come in with Machamp, but wait do you see these counters? These counters are doing a ton of damage. I think the opponent actually sort of makes a mistake in throwing here. They should have maybe just went for the full farm down there. But yeah, actually maybe not, because they would have probably just got taken out by the counter, so the opponent was in a rough spot. The opponent's boosted, but they just about don't take us out with the Sableye, and they're not going to reach another move. Scrafty just trying to 1v3 my whole team here. But that's it for the gameplay, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Machamp gameplay. Of course, if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, it's absolutely free, and thank you very much everybody for the support in these videos. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.